History usually praises conquerors, commanders, wars, empires. But some people change the world not with a sword, but with an idea. Confucius was one of them. Not a king, not a prophet, not a revolutionary. Yet even today, the moral backbone of East Asia still rests on his words. This video is not motivation. It is not self-help. This is about how order is sustained. Confucius lived in an age of chaos. States were collapsing. Authority was weak. Rules meant nothing. Everyone asked the same question: why has order broken down? Confucius asked something else. Why have people broken down? To him, society does not collapse from the top. It rots from the inside. If a father does not act like a father, if a ruler is not just, if the young are not taught respect, no law will save you. He was clear, uncomfortable, not romantic. Today, people hate the word discipline. They call it oppression. They call it outdated. Confucius would have dismissed that instantly. To him, discipline is not punishment. It is character construction. A person without discipline is not free. They are ruled by impulse. Real freedom is self-control. Waking up when you should. Keeping your word, not acting. On anger, Confucius said it plainly. Before you govern others, govern yourself. Simple, unforgiving, effective. In Confucian thought, respect is not a feeling, it is a system of behavior. Respect for parents, for elders, for teachers. But this is not blind obedience. Respect means everyone understands their role. When people know their place, there is no need to shout. Today, everyone speaks. No one listens. To Confucius, there was a clear sign of decay, because when respect disappears, power takes its place, and power is rarely fair. Confucius did not reject the state, but he understood something crucial. Laws intimidate, morality forms. A person who obeys the law behaves only when watched. A moral person behaves even when alone. That is why Confucius demanded this from leaders. Be the example. Do not threaten, do not shout. Live correctly. People will follow. This is still true today, painfully true, because he does not allow you to outsource responsibility. Saying the system is broken is easy. Saying society is corrupt is comfortable. Confucius asks a harder question. What about you? Are you disciplined? Are you respectful? Are you moral? If not, no system will save you. Not a pleasant message, but truth rarely is. Have you ever wondered what makes a society truly great? Not just powerful or wealthy, but stable, harmonious, and just. Thousands of years ago, one man dedicated his entire life to answering this very question. His name was Confucius, or as we know him in the West, Confucius, and his ideas would shape the course of East Asian civilization for millennia. This isn't just a history lesson. It's a journey into the heart of what it means to be a good person, a good leader, and a member of a good society. Confucius was born in 551 BC, during a turbulent period in Chinese history known as the Spring and Autumn period. The once mighty Zhou dynasty had fractured, and China was a chaotic patchwork of warring states. Imagine a world where alliances shifted like sand, where warlords fought for power, and where the common people suffered endlessly from instability and conflict. It was into this world of disorder that Confucius was born. He came from a noble but impoverished family in the state of Lu. From a young age, he showed a deep love for learning and a fascination with the rites and rituals of the past. He believed that the chaos of his time was a direct result of people abandoning the moral principles and social structures that had once made the early Zhou dynasty so successful. He saw a world that had lost its way, a world desperately in need of a moral compass. So, he embarked on a mission. He wasn't a king or a general. He was a teacher. He believed that the key to restoring order wasn't through force, but through education and moral cultivation. He started a school, accepting students from all social classes, a revolutionary idea at the time. His goal was to train a new generation of scholars and officials who would lead with wisdom and integrity, not with brute force. So, what exactly did Confucius teach? At the core of his philosophy is the concept of Ren, often translated as benevolence or humanity. Ren is the ultimate virtue, the deep, empathetic concern for the well-being of others. It's the simple but profound idea of treating others as you would wish to be treated yourself. Confucius believed that if everyone cultivated Ren within themselves, society would naturally become more compassionate and harmonious. But how do you practice Ren? This is where another key concept comes in. Li. Li refers to the rites, rituals, and rules of proper conduct. Think of it as the blueprint for a well-ordered society. For Confucius, Li wasn't about empty, rigid formalities. It was the external expression of your inner virtue. When you bow to an elder, you're not just going through the motions, you're showing respect. When you perform a ceremony correctly, you're demonstrating discipline and reverence for tradition. Li provides the structure for Ren to flourish. It channels our good intentions into appropriate, constructive actions, turning an abstract feeling into a concrete social practice. One of the most important aspects of Li is the idea of the 5 relationships. Confucius identified 5 fundamental bonds that form the bedrock of society. Ruler and subject, father and son, husband and wife, elder brother and younger brother, and friend and friend. Each relationship comes with a set of specific duties and responsibilities. A ruler must be benevolent, and a subject must be loyal. A father must be loving, and a son must be filial, showing deep respect and obedience. This concept of filial piety, or zhao, is absolutely central. For Confucius, the family was the training ground for virtue. If you couldn't learn to be respectful, loving, and responsible within your own family, how could you possibly contribute positively to the wider society? The respect you show your parents is the same kind of respect you should show your ruler and your elders. The family unit was a microcosm of the state. A well-ordered family leads to a well-ordered state. Now, this might sound very hierarchical, and it is, but it's a hierarchy based on responsibility, not just power. The person in the superior position, the ruler, the father. The husband has a profound moral obligation to care for and act justly towards the person in the subordinate position. This is the essence of Confucian leadership. A true leader doesn't rule by fear or command. They lead by example. They cultivate their own moral character to such a high degree that others are naturally inspired to follow them. This ideal person, the one who embodies all these virtues, is called the gunzi, or the gentleman. The junzi is not necessarily born into nobility. They achieve this status through a lifetime of self-improvement, study, and reflection. The junzi is wise, disciplined, courageous, and above all, benevolent. They understand their place in the world. They fulfill their duties with sincerity, and they always strive to do what is right, not what is profitable or easy. The ultimate goal of Confucian education was to transform every student into a gentleman. For 13 years, Confucius and his disciples traveled from state to state, trying to persuade rulers to adopt his philosophy. It was a difficult journey. Many rulers were more interested in military strategies and political intrigue than in moral self-cultivation. They saw his ideas as idealistic and impractical in a world of cutthroat politics. He was often met with indifference, ridicule, and even danger. Confucius died in 479 BC, believing his life's work had been a failure. He never held the high government position he dreamed of, and he never saw a ruler fully implement his policies. But he was wrong. In the centuries following his death, his ideas began to take root. His disciples and their students spread his teachings throughout China. During the Han Dynasty, about 200 years after his death, Confucianism was officially adopted as the state ideology. From that point on, the Confucian classics became the basis of the civil service examination system. For nearly 2,000 years, anyone who wanted to become a government official in China had to prove their mastery of Confucian thought. This created a class of scholarly officials who, in theory at least, were chosen for their moral character and intellectual ability, not just their family connections. This system, deeply embedded with Confucian values of order, discipline, and merit, became one of the most enduring and defining features of Chinese civilization. The influence of Confucius extends far beyond China. His philosophy spread to Korea, Japan, and Vietnam, shaping their cultures, governments, and social norms in profound ways. Even today, you can see the legacy of Confucianism in the emphasis on education, respect for elders, and the importance of the family that is common across East Asia. Of course, Confucianism is not without its critics. Some have argued that its emphasis on hierarchy and obedience can lead to authoritarianism and stifle individuality. Its traditional views on the roles of women have also been a point of major contention and reform. But to dismiss his entire philosophy because of these criticisms would be to miss the point. At its heart, Confucianism is a deeply optimistic and humanistic philosophy. It carries the radical belief that human beings are fundamentally good and teachable. It argues that we can create a better world, not by waiting for a savior or a revolution, but through the slow, patient, and deliberate work of improving ourselves and fulfilling our responsibilities to others. Confucius's message is as relevant today as it was 2,500 years ago. In our own often chaotic and divided world, his call for empathy, discipline, and moral leadership is a powerful reminder. He teaches us that true order doesn't come from laws and punishments alone. It comes from the shared values and mutual respect that bind us together. It starts with asking ourselves a simple question: how can I be a better person today? A better son or daughter? A better friend? A better citizen? For Confucius, that was the first step, and the most important one, on the path to a better world. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the life and mind of Confucius. If you found this interesting and want to explore more great thinkers from history, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments what you think about his ideas. See you next time.